Sister Wives Janelle Brown reveals Kody ditched Maddie for years. Undeniably, Sister Wives star Janelle Brown dropped some behind-the-scenes information that helps fans understand the divided relationship between Maddie Brown-Brush and her dad, Kody Brown. Janelle opens up about Kody being absent from Maddie and her family's life for years. Janelle Brown discusses Kody and Maddie's relationship was. During season 19 of Sister Wives, Janelle Brown has adopted a more carefree life. Now that she doesn't need to carry the burden of the whole plural family, she is speaking more freely. In the latest episode, Janelle sheds some light on why Maddie Brown-Brush and Kody Brown are feuding. Although Kody claims that Maddie is a big gossip in the family that takes anything he says and uses it to propel rumors in the family, Janelle doesn't agree. Instead, she recalls how easily Kody's tongue spins details the way he wants. When Kody was arguing with Robin Brown about resolving issues with his kids, he brought up how Maddie avoided him at Logan's wedding. While Kody is deeply hurt that he didn't know Maddie was pregnant, Janelle confronts the underlying issue as to why Maddie was tight-lipped about the exciting baby she was carrying. Janelle Brown reveals Kody ditched Maddie for years. As frustrations fly with Robin and Kody Brown reliving the pain Maddie has caused him, producers discuss it with Janelle Brown. Undoubtedly, Janelle sees the issue differently than Kody. She says, "The only thing the kids are upset with is the way he has treated the family, the way he has completely ditched out." Furthermore, she adds, and really, Maddie doesn't have any contact with them. However, Kody is enveloped in deep-seated pain, thinking about Maddie. "You saw the way Madison took her kids and scuttled them away from me." But Janelle explains that the true rift is because Kody has been absent. She says, Kody has not been there since Evie was born and Evie is 3.5. Additionally, Janelle understands that Maddie is concerned about Kody's inconsistency. She elaborates, and she didn't just want him to drop in and be like, "Oh, I'm your grandpa," and then be like, "What? Who is this guy?" Kody blames Maddie for moving. Although Janelle Brown seems to understand that Maddie Brown-Brush is being cautious, Kody Brown blames Maddie for moving. Unmistakably, Kody can't shoulder some of the responsibility for staying in touch. Instead of letting bygones be bygones, he pulls out the ugly finger of blame and asserts that Maddie essentially caused the divide by moving to another coast. Furthermore, Kody doesn't focus on how he could reach out through FaceTime, exchange photos and letters, or engage from a distance until he could visit in person. Instead, he asserts that Maddie has an unrealistic expectation for grandparents to be in the grandchildren's lives. Whether he is covering his guilt for being angry at Maddie or feeling inadequate, he shifts the blame to her. He adds, especially if you move your children to an entirely different coast. Kody Brown doesn't want to accept how Maddie sees him. Additionally, Kody Brown accuses Maddie of creating more tension between him and Janelle Brown. He tells Robin, "They're purposefully leaving me out of their lives to punish me for a crime I did not commit." In his mind, he didn't do anything wrong except something out of his control. Specifically, he divulges, "I am only guilty of not falling madly in love with their mothers." But he is so bitter with Maddie that he says, "Well, Madison actually called Janelle saying, 'Dad said he didn't love you.'" Although Kody is childishly holding grudges against his estranged children, he agrees to work on relationships to appease Robin. He stated, "I will work, I will reach out to, I will love those children who will allow me to do it." Conceding, Kody adds, "And in time, maybe the rest of them will come back around." Janelle Brown, one of the more reserved yet independent wives on Sister Wives, has always carried an air of quiet strength and resilience. But beneath that composed exterior, emotions were simmering. Emotions tied not just to her relationship with Kody, but to the intricate web of relationships in their plural family. For years, fans of the show have watched Janelle navigate the challenges of a plural marriage, especially as cracks in her marriage with Kody became more apparent. One of the most significant and heartbreaking revelations, however, came when Janelle opened up about Kody's relationship, or lack thereof, with their daughter, Maddie. Maddie, born to Janelle and Kody as their second child together, had always been a vibrant presence in the Brown family. She was sharp, quick-witted, and fiercely independent, traits she undoubtedly inherited from her mother. As viewers, we saw her grow from a shy teenager into a young woman, carving out her own path, eventually marrying Caleb Brush and moving away from the tight-knit family compound. But what many didn't know, and what Janelle would later reveal, was the emotional void Maddie had carried for years. The feeling of abandonment by her father, Kody. Janelle, with her characteristic stoicism, kept this pain tucked away for a long time. She had always been the pragmatic wife, the one who approached problems with logic, often putting her children's needs ahead of her own emotions. But as the family dynamic shifted and the tension between Kody and his wives escalated, the cracks that had long been papered over began to surface. During one of the family's tell-all interviews, Janelle finally let the truth spill out. Kody was absent, especially for Maddie, Janelle confessed, her voice trembling slightly. I tried to fill that gap, but a child needs both parents. And for years, Kody just wasn't there for her. The revelation sent shockwaves through the Sister Wives fandom. How could Kody, who always prided himself on being a present and engaged father, have distanced himself from his own daughter? Janelle's words painted a stark picture, one that highlighted the emotional toll of plural marriage, not just on the wives, but on the children as well. Janelle went on to explain that Maddie had often asked about her father's absence when she was younger. As a little girl, she would sit by the window, waiting for Kody to come home after long days spent with his other wives. But more often than not, he didn't. Janelle tried to soothe her daughter's hurt feelings, reassuring her that Kody loved all of his children, but Maddie wasn't blind to the reality. She saw the way her father prioritized his time with his other children, especially those from his other wives. It left a wound that festered for years. Maddie was old enough to understand, Janelle admitted. She wasn't the type to cry about it or throw tantrums. She internalized it. But I saw the pain in her eyes. I saw how it affected her. As Maddie grew older, her relationship with Kody became more strained. Janelle noted that there were periods when Kody would go months without reaching out to Maddie. When she graduated from high school, moved out, and eventually married Caleb, the distance between father and daughter only widened. Janelle found herself caught in the middle, trying to maintain peace between her daughter and her husband, all while wrestling with her own feelings of frustration and helplessness. It hurt me too, Janelle shared, because as much as I tried to be both mother and father to Maddie, I knew I couldn't fully replace what she was missing from Kody. And the sad part is, I don't think he even realized how much she needed him during those years. Kody, for his part, offered a different perspective. During the same interview, he admitted that the demands of managing a plural family were overwhelming. With 4 wives and over a dozen children, time was always a scarce resource. He tried to be there for everyone, but inevitably, someone would feel neglected. I thought Maddie was fine, Kody said, sounding somewhat defensive. I didn't know she felt that way. I had no idea she was hurting like that. But for Janelle, his explanation wasn't enough. She acknowledged the complexities of their plural family, but argued that Kody should have been more attuned to his children's needs, especially when they were young and impressionable. Maddie, in particular, had always been independent, but that didn't mean she didn't need her father's presence in her life. Over time, Janelle revealed, Maddie found ways to cope with the emotional absence. She threw herself into her studies, excelled in extracurricular activities, and, eventually, into building a life with Caleb. But the scars remained, and it was only after years of distance that Maddie finally confronted Kody about his absence. There was a lot of resentment, Janelle said quietly. Maddie had to work through it on her own.